let's go here and start to spread the word. It's very clear to me that most men look, and then everyone is like, hey, I'm live, I'm live, I'm live, I'm live, I'm live. And other days I struggle, as you guys have seen, to find someone to raid. Let's see what Twitter has been doing recently. If it's actually been sharing my tweets. No. We'll do that and then I'll try and figure it out later. So Steven still isn't better. But according to the ER, it isn't COVID. So I was going to say, we should be on home internet, so it shouldn't be having issues. Any luck getting information out of Gareth Greengrass? No, he's barely said a word since we took him into custody under suspicion of being a member of the Unforgivable. When he does speak, it's only to proclaim his innocence. This isn't good, Harry. A confession made under the influence of Veritaserum won't hold up in court. Especially not one obtained so unconventionally. With our only other evidence circumstantial and no paper trail to be found, I'm not sure how much longer we can legally detain him. I know it doesn't help that a number of ministry officials, particularly those within the Department of Mysteries who have worked with Gareth for years, are calling for his release. Some even claim we used the Imperious Curse to get a false confession out of him. We don't have time to entertain rumors. Don't forget, we still need to use this search to restore Ron's memories of our second year at Hogwarts. Any moment we don't spend getting Gareth to talk, we should spend helping Ron. So collect ingredients or portmanteaus, master notes, and flesh-eating slugs. So if you did what I suggested last stream, you should have one ready to use master notes on. And finish. And then you should have and then you can immediately do master notes on another. There's your 2 master notes. As you can see, that finished it that quickly. I really like when they do that because it makes it easier to move on with the event in such a way that it's fun. When they have right up at the first something that takes forever, for me, it takes the fun out of it. Now, let's go do one other thing so I can finish that one off. Hi, Crafting with Ray. Thank you for joining. I'm glad you did, because I know you were really worried about it. Sundays are my day I get away from social media. I actually don't even usually open up Discord at all. And I basically don't do anything related to anything I might be making money with. As in, like, I don't go watch Twitch streams. I don't work on books that are not, I really sometimes even don't, a lot of times don't even work on my religious book. I don't check Twitter. I don't check Facebook. I will sometimes use it for other things, but I don't check comments, different things like that, etc. Just because that's my day to recover and relax and focus on religious stuff and whatever. So that's why I didn't get your stream yesterday, but I'm glad you had fun. And I'm glad that it helped you, because I knew when I was watching your stream the other day, you were getting really frustrated. At first you were just trying to do your best, and I really appreciated that, but you were asking for help, and then when I gave you the help, it seemed like you were going, I know what I want it to say, but I don't know how to put it. And I hope that giving you the ideas helped you decide exactly how you could put it in such a way that you would be happy, in my mind. One thing, and I'm going to make this really clear, that I've heard over and over and over and over from successful writers, is that the stories they write, they aren't worried about what other people think of their stories. They write a story they want to read. That when they're done, they want it to be one that they would love to read. And if they can get it to that point, they're happy. And that's what I would like. I hope what I did for you, what I did helped you get to where you can get it there. Is if you can get it to where you're happy to read it, where it's what you want to read, then that's what it should be. No matter what anyone else says. But at the same time, I knew you were really worried about it. And so I wanted to give you the help I could, because it sounded like, and that's what I was going to say, it sounded like you knew what you wanted it to say, or you knew the story, you just didn't know how to get it to say what you wanted it to say. And I hoped, and so that's why I shared with you what I did. Because I figured sometimes all it takes is seeing how to adjust what you've written to what you want to read. And where you'd said you liked what I was writing, the way it flowed and everything, I was hopeful that if I edited some, it would show you how to change what you had written into what you like to read. That's cool. And that's exactly what I wanted. I didn't want it to be, oh, I read the story and rewrote your story for you. I wanted it to be a case of, okay, here's how you can take what you've written and change it into something that maybe you'll feel flows better. I will say and I'm going to be honest with you, the adjustment of when I first started writing my religious book, and that's actually where that idea came from, there was a lot of dialogue back and forth. And I quickly realized how much of a struggle that is to read. Unless it's a kid's book where you're like turning a page and now read the next sentence, and turn a page and read the next sentence, or things like that. But to read it as in paragraph after paragraph after paragraph, or page after page, can really be a struggle. And kind of takes you out of it. And so I had to figure out, how do I change that? How do I keep the dialogue, but get rid of the dialogue? Rather than he says, she says, he says, she says, how can I change it so people know what was said, but don't have all these quotes of people saying things? And so I hoped that, and that was my feeling, was what you were struggling with the most, was how to make that happen, and to realize you can jump back and forth between that time can pass, past tense can be anywhere from, oh, my son just walked down the hall, which he didn't exactly, but the idea of, oh, that just happened, literally just happened, but in past tense, or, so you can have, and then jump into current tense, and then past tense, and current tense, and past tense, and that's okay, because you're still talking about you're in the present moment, while at times you're using past tense words, because you're talking about it as though it just happened. So it's still in the past because it already happened, but it just happened. And that's one thing that I don't think English teachers here in the U.S. teach very well. From my understanding, other countries actually have different past tenses. So past tense if you use the past tense for just recently, like that day or whatever, that's great and you're okay, and it's often considered, I think, more of being a current, whereas past tense farther back they have another language, another way of writing it, and you don't want to get into that when jump back and forth between that and